Hello out there, everybody. Mr. Parrott here for Wednesday, January 27th, 2021. It's been a great day to be a junior Potter. I hope you're doing great yourself out there at home. What we're going to do today is we're going to look at something that's relevant and something that's very recent, but also tied with our subject. We're going to look at an article that explains how the vaccine for COVID-19 works. And there'll be some questions that go along with it because it has to deal with manipulating some of that DNA and RNA stuff that we've been talking about. So it's kind of relevant, and it's definitely a hot button thing right now because vaccines are coming out. So figured we would relate this to something that is there. First and foremost, though, make sure that your bell ringer is turned in, or that you do it. I mean, I guess you turn it in every time you submit it, but make sure you do your bell ringer. We need to go to Schoology. There we go, Schoology. Let's go to Wednesday, the 27th. We're in January. Here we go. Boop, 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 doop, boop, boo. And we got our SGO is what we call the science articles, because usually we have this big old thing that's a graphic organizer that we write down with it. But since we're not doing as much paper copy stuff, these SGOs have turned into these online assignments. So I'll kind of show you what it looks like. It's kind of our first one that we did. If you remember back, we did look at an article early on in the year that also dealt with COVID. But this one's going to be a full thing here. If you want the actual full article, you can click on this link down here. That is the COVID vaccine. You have to log in as a student, and the password is Potter709 there. I got it in the description. But I have copy and pasted sections of the article to read. And we've also had these a part of our assignments as well. So you've been a part of these. You just haven't fully, whatever I'm trying to explain here. Like, we haven't done a full, true one of them, but that you've seen bits and pieces of them in homework assignments. Like when we looked at the twins the other week for DNA, or way back when with respiration and photosynthesis, we had little articles that go along with it. This is just looking at one complete thing here. This is just saying that we're going to read this article and where it's coming from, and if you're going to get a variety of questions to be asked of it. So here's the first section. What you'll end up doing is reading this, and then I got 3 questions for you to answer that will address different parts of breaking down an article. So looking for things that would be the main point. So I got a couple of different things that could be the main point. One of them is truly what the article or what this section is talking about. A couple of them would be considered maybe like supporting details in there, but you're looking for which one would be the best selection out of them, so choose between those options. This one talks about a little bit of vocabulary by figuring out what herd immunity is, because quite frankly, before I read this article, I didn't even know what herd immunity even was or existed. It makes sense now that I know it. I just didn't know that it had a term to it. So I thought that would be a good vocabulary word that came out of this. So it kind of asks you a little bit about vocabulary. Then we got evidence to support the use of the vaccine, because there's a whole bunch of stuff of whether or not or yes to get it. So you'll read some of the stuff. All these things are coming from the article. You just got to pick which one is supporting the cause there and which one would be the best supporting one. This question here talks about this picture and analyzing the picture. We've got our vaccine timeline with a couple of questions dealing with the vaccine timeline. We got another breakdown of this diagram, and there's some steps as far as what the picture represents. So like number 1 here, what this all means is explained down here for number 1. And then there's a couple of questions of how all this is going to work. This is basically interpreting the diagram and the steps that go along with it. So like a lot of our true reading kind of picking from and breaking down the diagram there. Then the last one, similar to some of the other ones, I tried to come up with 3 questions per section. Some of them had a little bit more, especially with that breakdown one. So that's what you'll be doing when you review it. Just like any with the Schoology assignments, it'll say what was right or wrong so that you can try again again. You got 3 attempts at it, so if it's saying that your main point is off, take a look at why your main point maybe was rejected, and then go in there and see what one is actually the truest form of it there. And yeah, that's going to be the assignment going on with it. I think it's like 15, 16 some questions, so, but there is some of the article to read, so make sure you read the article so that you grasp fully it. I chunked it out so that you didn't have to read it all at once, so I think it makes it easier when you chunk it out into the sections like that, so that's why I did it that way. So hopefully you can like really focus on what is this part trying to tell me. So you'll submit that. I'm expecting a lot of people will get that done today, so that the rest of the time is devoted to your study guide, which we will formally go over tomorrow. But remember, when you submit it, I will send you a link to the answers so that you at least have the answer key to the study guide, so you can start studying as soon as you submit it there. If you have any questions, hope you're doing well, staying safe. Check out our video tomorrow. I'll post some review stuff tomorrow to go along with that study guide, but hopefully you're back in class sooner rather than later, and I will see you in class. But if not, check into tomorrow's video, and I'll see you later. Bye.